You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Happening today, a judge is expected to schedule a new trial date for a Florida man accused of dropping his daughter from a Tampa Bay bridge. What we know about the investigation so far. Over a week since Florence made landfall, the new threat this morning leaving thousands more to evacuate. And take a look at this rare species, a two-headed snake, how experts believe it was formed. Good Morning Suncoast starts now. Good morning, everyone. I'm Erica Jackson. Stephanie and Ray are both off today. It's September 24th. Thank you for joining us this morning. Time to head over to First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi with your weather. John?
Good morning, Erica. So we're looking at a few scattered showers out in Gulf waters, but nothing over land again this morning. It was kind of dry this weekend, at least drier than we have seen on some days. Some of us did get some rainfall. Many of us did not. We saw warm temperatures, though, and I think a similar sort of situation develops again this afternoon. Local temperatures across the region generally mid-70s in inland areas, upper 70s close to the coastline, even pretty near the 80-degree mark already at this hour. We have some cloud cover due to some showers that occurred overnight out in Gulf waters, the kind of dissipating cloud leaving us near the coast with a little bit of cloud cover. But all in all, I think we'll look at a lot of sunshine to start off the morning into the afternoon. And then by 3 p.m. start to work in that 40% chance of rain showers that'll carry us through the evening rush. Back to you.
John, thank you. Now let's take a live look at the Ringling Causeway Bridge. Pretty dark right now. It's only 5:01. Quiet this morning, but I'm sure things will pick up within the next few hours as people start heading to work. And speaking of First Alert traffic, let's take a look at our traffic maps. In Manatee County, all clear there. Nothing really to report at this hour. Further south in the northern part of Sarasota, all green on the map, all clear. And further south for the southern part of Sarasota County, all clear as well, and nothing to report at this hour. Now, we have an update to a big story here 3 years ago when a Pinellas County father allegedly threw his 5-year-old daughter off a bridge near the Sunshine Skyway. Deputies then arrested John Chuck as he drove into Manatee County. Our Marla Spence has an update on the case. Marla?
Hey, Erica, this morning prosecutors and public defenders are meeting today to pick a new trial date for John Chuck. The 28-year-old was arrested in Manatee County after allegedly dropping his 5-year-old daughter to her death from a bridge near the Sunshine Skyway Bridge in 2015. Today, jury selection was scheduled to begin, but during a pretrial hearing last week, the decision was made to postpone the start of the trial. John Chuck's defense team filed a last-minute motion asking the judge to exclude the testimony of one of the state's expert witnesses. An expert witness and a doctor for the state believes he was sane at the time of the incident. The defense called for another doctor to rebut that testimony, but prosecutors said they didn't have enough time to prepare for that new doctor last week, resulting in the trial's setback. Although defense attorney and defense plans to argue that John Chuck is not guilty by any reason of insanity, it is documented that he's been receiving treatment at a state mental hospital since being arrested. The night of the arrest, John Chuck was speeding at roughly 100 miles per hour, approaching the Dick Meisner Bridge when an off-duty officer pulled over the car, and it was then that the officer witnessed John Chuck throwing his 5-year-old daughter into the water.
The officer went directly to the bridge to see if he could locate the child in the water. The officer called out what he had just seen. He went off the side of the bridge, down a ladder to get to the water to see if he could locate the child.
John Chuck then got into his car and drove 30 minutes south into Manatee County on I-75 to the University Parkway exit, where he was arrested. If convicted, John Chuck could face life in prison for a crime that often seeks a death penalty. In today's hearing, we'll discuss when the trial should be set. Erica?
Marla, thank you. Happening today, Bill Cosby will be back in court for sentencing on his conviction for sexual assault. Cosby faces up to 10 years in prison for each of the 3 counts against him. He was found guilty of sexually assaulting Andrea Constand in his home near Philadelphia in 2004. Cosby's defense team is expected to appeal the guilty verdict, and the judge could allow Cosby to remain on house arrest until the appeal is resolved. A developing story for the Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Another woman is accusing Kavanaugh of sexual behavior. The White House and Kavanaugh denied the allegation Sunday, calling it a smear campaign. On Sunday, the New Yorker reported that Deborah Ramirez, now 53, attended Yale with Kavanaugh and says he exposed himself to her at a dorm party in the early 1980s. According to the New Yorker, Ramirez was initially reluctant to come forward, in part because her memory contained gaps.
When someone steps forward and accuses another person of this kind of sexual assault, it needs to be taken seriously.
And looking ahead to Thursday, Kavanaugh's first accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, will testify before a Senate. Ford said Kavanaugh groped her and tried to remove her clothes during a party in their high school years. Christine Blasey Ford has support from people all across the country. A group of supporters backing the California professor gathered Sunday in Washington, D.C.
I think it's really understandable why women don't come forward. This is a perfect example. Dr. Blasey Ford is being ridiculed, criticized, and called a liar. And women know this, and this is why they're not coming forward.
Similar support rallies were held in New York and California on Sunday. The relationship between the U.S. and China enters a new phase. Both superpowers take financial strikes against each other by imposing their largest round of tariffs yet. John Lawrence reports.
It's a new era in the relationship between the U.S. and China. Starting Monday, the Trump administration is inflicting new 10% tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese products.
Tariffs have really had a positive impact. Number one, our country's taken in a lot of money. Number two, we're creating jobs like never before.
Among the thousands of goods affected, baseball gloves, network routers, and food seasonings. Chinese officials say they'll strike back with new taxes on American items like auto parts, meat, and clothing. But President Trump says he's not worried about the retaliation.
They said, well, we're going to do the same thing. I said, that's okay. We have far more bullets.
Last month, the People's Daily newspaper wrote, the U.S. is unwilling to see China develop and prosper and then surpass it. No hardship has ever stopped China from standing up, growing rich, and becoming strong.
I think it's wrong. It's only about politics.
As for Chinese workers, the news of the new tariffs brings mixed reactions.
I think our country hasn't been affected that much so far. China doesn't really rely on the U.S. like it did in the 2000s.
It definitely has a negative impact on Chinese economy.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Happening today, South Korean President Moon Jae will be attending a summit with President Trump in New York. This meeting is partly to arrange a second U.S.-North Korea summit. Moon will deliver a keynote speech in a UN meeting on Wednesday. Moon is also scheduled to hold bilateral summits with Chile and Spain before heading home on Wednesday. President Trump is proposing new limits on green cards and visas. The proposed rule would make it more difficult for immigrants who would benefit from various forms of public assistance, like food stamps and housing subsidies, to stay in the country. The Department of Homeland Security made the announcement over the weekend, saying the plan is to help protect taxpayers. Back here at home, a man is facing charges this morning after police say he crashed into another vehicle and then attempted to run away. It started on 5th Street East in Bradenton. Police say that's where Cole Roach drove into another vehicle at a red light before driving away. Investigators say Roach appeared impaired and fled when deputies tried to pull him over. He turned onto a dead end before leaving his vehicle and running away. A K-9 tracked him down to a backyard, and that's where police found him hiding in a vehicle. There were no injuries reported. Roach is being charged with several counts, including pursuit, DUI, and burglary. Red tide conditions fluctuate daily. Even when our beaches are mostly clear of red tide, the parking lots remain empty. Sarasota Bay is mostly clear of dead fish, but nearby on Lido Key and North Anna Maria Island, there are some dead fish and reports of respiratory irritation. Manatee tourism officials say they feel comfortable inviting locals out to enjoy the shops and restaurants on the barrier islands, but say right now isn't the best time for tourists to get a first impression of our beaches.
We want to make sure that if we're putting a brand in the marketplace, that our beaches are of quality, the sugar white sands, the turquoise waters that they expect.
Tourism officials recommend checking beach conditions online before heading out the door. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Florence continues to impact residents in the Carolinas. The recovery efforts underway. And coming up later in the hour, a teenager is facing charges. The threats officials say he made to a Northport high school before a homecoming dance. Stay with us, but let's take a live look at our tower cam. Right now, you are overlooking Sarasota right now. Still dark at just 5:10 a.m., but getting brighter within the next couple of hours. Now let's check in with John.
Yeah, so it's kind of hazy out there, and the reason is, of course, all the moisture in the air. It's a thick, sticky start to the day. We'll see the rain box checked on the drive time forecast because of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, which will again be around, but the rain chance at about 40% today. We'll go with upper 80s by drive time, but we'll top it out today. Again, warm, coming in the lower 90s. And all of the airport hubs running on time, according to the FAA. We'll have the forecast for you in a minute.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
So, you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So, pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid, your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-965-2704.
Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-965-2704.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our nation's youth. We believe veterans earn their benefits through their service to our nation. We believe in a strong national security. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion, and we believe it makes a difference. If you believe, learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we have a temperature and dew point that are exactly the same. That gives us the 100% relative humidity, 76 on the temperature side, 76 on the dew point side. And consequently, that's why it feels so sticky outside right now. And indeed it does. Plus, we have a little bit of cloud cover, high thin cloud for the most part, kind of blow off, residual leftover debris cloud from showers that occurred out in Gulf waters. And they're producing a little bit of a kind of a milky appearance to the clouds and to the full moon that's still bright out there this morning. As we progress through the morning, we'll continue to watch those clouds kind of mix away and give us a mostly sunny start to the day. And then as we head into the afternoon, we'll start seeing a few clouds building in inland areas, which will lead to about a 40% chance of storms by 3 p.m. in inland locations, Hardee and DeSoto counties and such. And then as we head into the evening hours, those inland storms kind of move toward the coastline as they tend to just basically die out. So we have showers in progress thanks to that easterly wind flow that continues at this hour over on the other coast. We'll watch today as those showers kind of cross the coastline, a few of them, and make it into our area, building in inland areas where right now it's absolutely quiet, and then move to coastal regions where they will die out. You can see a few areas perhaps of some drizzle out in Gulf waters this morning, but really that's about it. High pressure, the dominant weather feature, again providing us with an assurance of a warm week ahead. And in fact, this month may turn out to be one of the top 5 warmest months ever for Sarasota. In some places it will break all-time records for the month, just because of this high pressure ridge building in and this easterly wind flow pattern that ensures these warm afternoon temperatures. Again, showers will tend to be west movers, drifting from inland locations toward the coast. Some of them can produce some fairly heavy rainfall, but in general, the number of storms that we get today, probably a little bit less than we would normally see. So we stay slightly drier. East wind turns to the west this afternoon with a sea breeze, of course. The inland storms move to the Gulf, and we're warm all week long. Satellite view shows a few places out in the Gulf that we continue to monitor, or in the Atlantic that we continue to monitor. So it's been kind of a busy weekend. We've got Kirk, we've got Leslie. Leslie's really not that important. It'll continue to move away from us. And we've got another disturbance that some computer models suggest may have some chance of briefly gaining in intensity. None of the computer models take this storm and make it a hurricane, but they do kind of get it pretty close to the coast of North Carolina and South Carolina. And with that regard, of course, they are watching the system pretty carefully. Chances are it won't be much more than a 1 or 2 inch rainmaker, but that, of course, would be unwelcome rains for the coastlines of the Carolinas. And continue to watch it and let you know the chances of any kind of serious development are pretty minimal. Tropical depression Kirk continues to move toward the east. It is likely to move into the Caribbean, where it will eventually just fall apart. But again, it's south of us, so we will continue to watch it pretty carefully. Southeast wind coming west as we head into the afternoon with a sea breeze today. And the forecast calls for about a 40% chance of showers today. Oh, we've already had fall. I forgot to get rid of that. Happy fall, by the way. Anyway, temperatures stay warm right straight through the week, and we'll have those chances of rainfall that linger, probably a little bit drier as we head into the weekend. Back to you.
John, thank you. Taking a look at first alert traffic in Manatee County, all clear there. Nothing really to report at this hour. Further south in northern part of Sarasota, all green and clear on the map so far at 5:17 this morning. And further south in the southern part of Sarasota County, all clear, nothing to report. And right now you're taking a live look at the Ringling Causeway Bridge. Still pretty quiet as we approach the 6 o'clock hour in the next 40 minutes. But right now, all clear, and we are looking forward to another exciting Monday. Neighbors helping neighbors. Florence victims are leaning on each other during this difficult time. River levels continue to rise, forcing many out of their homes, some for the first time ever. Ian Klein reports.
It's tragic. It's tragic to get this much rain, affecting so many thousands of people, dealing with what we're getting ready to deal with now, which is getting floodwaters in your home and people losing everything.
Beth Baker has lived in Saukesty for nearly 3 years. Her house, like many on her street, at risk of flooding for the first time ever. But despite the uncertainty, they continue to lean on each other for support.
We've just all banded together. We're Saukesty strong, and I love it.
And residents here in Saukesty say this scene is all too familiar. Many forced out by flooding in 2016 after Hurricane Matthew. However, in Longs, residents who have been there for 25 years say they've never had to deal with flooding until now. Some homes sitting underwater, other homes only accessible by boat.
I never thought it would happen. I never thought. I didn't know. I thought maybe just water around, you know, maybe in the creeks and the ditches, but no, nothing near like this. This was a total absolute surprise.
June recalled hurricanes like Floyd and Matthew, leaving little to no water in their yards. Now, homes sit in 4 to 5 feet of water. June's daughter, Marie, absolutely heartbroken.
It's very sad, very emotional. The neighbors are taking in neighbors, and they're all friends, so it's a comfort. So the 2 weeks will go by quickly.
However, residents like Alice Cagle are uncertain about her future, wondering if the water is already inside her house. She says she won't know where to turn to, and like many in her area, she does not have flood insurance.
They told me this was not a flood zone, so I don't know who's going to help anybody out down here. I don't think anybody down here, because they were all told the same thing.
While many residents aren't sure what they'll be coming home to, they say it's the love and support from neighbors and even strangers that's getting them through this difficult time.
Oh, God, we're all leaning on each other, yes. Absolutely, 110%. I have the best neighbors in the world.
We're hoping that wall stays strong. We can just leave it to God and hope for the best.
Reporting in Horry County, I'm Ian Klein for the Raycom News Network.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, iPhone users, have you downloaded iOS 12 yet? The issues being reported already and what you need to know. And coming up at 5:30, take a look at this video. Officials say a bus driver was teaching kids to drive while there were other children on the bus. The charges she's facing. Stay with us. We'll have those stories and more when we come back.
According to Golf Digest, 2 of the nation's top golf resorts are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, the Auburn Opelika Marriott at Grand National, and the Renaissance Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa in Birmingham. Plus, the Marriott at Grand National was recognized as Hotel of the Year by Marriott International. Experience luxury and world-class golf Southern style. Visit rtjgolf/resorts or call 800-949-4444 to book your trip to the trail.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Clogged pores are disgusting. Introducing Dermasuction, the easy way to suck that yuck out of your pores. Dermasuction removes blackheads and dirt from your pores. Just look at everything it extracts. The secret's the gentle vacuum action. Watch as Dermasuction extracts so much yuck, leaving your skin feeling clean and youthful.
The gunk that had been pulled out, I was pretty horrified, but better in the Dermasuction than on my face.
It's almost addictive because you can see all this stuff coming out of your skin that you don't even really know is there.
Call now to order your Dermasuction for just $19.99. We'll also include our small and large body probes, the Sonic Microdermabrasion probe, and the handy travel case, all absolutely free. Order now and you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. You can get all this, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-213-9301. That's 1-800-213-9301 or visit dermasuction.com. So call 1-800-213-9301 now.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
At Boys and Girls Clubs, it's not just about trying new things.
Tanya, come here.
Learning the right steps.
2, 3, 4.
Or making contact. It's not just about exploring the future. It's about helping them build it. It's about making the connection. It's about proving every kid and teen who enters our doors has what it takes. Great futures start here.
Welcome back. Take a look at this. This is something you don't see every day. This rare two-headed copper snake was found in a backyard in Woodbridge, Virginia. The Virginia Wildlife Management and Control posted videos and pictures of the snake on social media. The snake is currently being cared for by a private viper breeder, according to Virginia wildlife officials. National Geographic says the two-headed snakes are rare and typically develop the same way as Siamese twins. Pretty interesting. Some iPhone users are reporting a big problem with iOS 12. ABC's Candice Gibson and Stephanie Ramos have the details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a possible problem with Apple's new operating system.
Forbes reports some iPhone users say iOS 12 degrades the quality of their screen. Most of the complaints come from iPhone 10 users. Apple has not commented, but the company will typically release a system upgrade to fix any bugs. And Walmart is going high-tech with its employee training program with the help of virtual reality headsets.
Yeah, the company is shipping Oculus Go VR headsets to all of its stores. Employees will use them to simulate events like a Black Friday rush. And Nintendo is now 129 years old.
The company started as a playing card maker in Kyoto, Japan in 1889. Nintendo started making video games in the 1970s and has created some of the most popular games ever.
Including Pokemon Go, of course. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Capital One.
The new Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. Now when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
Olay Deep Hydrating Eye Gel breaks through the competition. Olay Eyes with B3 Complex hydrates better than $100, $200, even $400 eye creams. That's something to see. Olay.
When I walked through a snowstorm for a cigarette, that's when I knew I had to quit. For real this time. That's why I'm using Nicorette.
Only Nicorette gum has patented dual-coated technology for great taste plus intense craving relief.
Every great why needs a great how.
The final 2018 Accord clearance is now during our model year-end clearance sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for new Accords. All on clearance this week at your local Honda dealer.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh is on the hot seat this week. The sexual assault allegation he's now facing. Plus, a bus driver is facing charges this morning after officials say she let 3 children drive a bus. And Tiger Woods is back in the headlines this morning. The victory he's celebrating after taking an L for 5 years. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast. Welcome back. I'm Erica Jackson, filling in for Ray and Stephanie. Thank you for joining us. Now it's time to take a look at our weather forecast with First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, Erica, it looks pretty quiet this morning. I don't really see any kind of problems for the morning commute, at least not weather-wise. No rainfall over our area right now. We do have a few showers again across the other coast. Those are the beginnings of the easterly wind that'll bring those showers closer to us later in the day. I still have about a 40% chance of seeing those afternoon showers and storms. 74, 75 degrees in inland areas closer to the coast. We're looking at 79, 78 degrees, close to the 80-degree mark most everywhere. It's kind of a sticky start to the day as temperature and dew point are pretty close together. And we do have some residual cloud cover kind of blanketing the coastline, particularly from thunderstorms that we had during the overnight that moved out into Gulf waters and basically dissipated. So as we head into the morning hours, we'll watch those clouds continue to dissipate away, leaving mostly sunny conditions to start off your day, and we'll finish it up with about a 40% rain chance. Forecast in a minute. Back to you.
John, thank you. Let's take a live look at the Ringling Causeway Bridge. Still dark this morning. It's only 5:31. Still quiet on the bridge, but we're expecting that to pick up within the next few hours. And let's take a look at our First Alert traffic maps this morning. Right now, it looks like everything is clear so far in Manatee County. No crashes to report at this hour. Same can be said for northern part of Sarasota County, and no crashes to report in South Sarasota County at this hour either. A developing story this week, Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and the White House are denying a second allegation of inappropriate sexual behavior aimed at the Supreme Court nominee. CNN's Jessica Schneider has more on the allegation and what is planned for Thursday's open hearing.
The date is set for Christine Blasey Ford's testimony. It will be on Thursday at 10 a.m. and it will be an open hearing. Now, Blasey Ford will testify first in front of the committee, after which Judge Brett Kavanaugh will testify. Blasey Ford will also have security since she's been receiving death threats since her identity became public. And there is still uncertainty as to who will be doing the questioning. It's possible Republicans could bring in an outside attorney who is a female, but Blasey Ford's attorneys say they want the senators doing the questioning since they've been dismissive of her allegations. Now, meanwhile, the chairman, Chuck Grassley, issued a statement Sunday saying that the committee itself had been investigating. And of the 4 other people Blasey Ford says were at the party, including Judge Kavanaugh, according to the committee, all have denied any knowledge or recollection of Blasey Ford's version of events. And of course, Judge Kavanaugh has also issued several forceful denials. And meanwhile, the White House and Judge Kavanaugh are now also denying another allegation against Kavanaugh of inappropriate behavior, this time from a woman who says she attended Yale with the Supreme Court nominee. The New Yorker reported on Sunday that 53-year-old Deborah Ramirez remembers Kavanaugh exposing himself to her at a dormitory party during the 1983-1984 school year. However, 2 other people Ramirez says were present at the party issued a statement to the New Yorker saying they never heard of such an incident, and CNN has not corroborated her story. Kavanaugh has released a statement saying this alleged event from 35 years ago did not happen. The people who knew me then know that this did not happen and have said so. This is a smear, plain and simple. I look forward to testifying on Thursday about the truth and defending my good name and the reputation for character and integrity I've spent a lifetime building against these last-minute allegations.
That was Jessica Schneider reporting. Back here on the Suncoast, a Punta Gorda teen is facing charges after threatening to shoot up Northport High School's homecoming dance. 19-year-old Anthony Grimaldi was arrested on Thursday. Police say Grimaldi made the threat to a female at the school. According to the victim, Grimaldi had sent text messages saying he was coming to her house and that he was, quote, strapped. He also allegedly told the victim if she went to the homecoming dance and danced with other boys, he would, quote, go there and shoot everyone. Investigators say a tenant of the home where Grimaldi is currently staying told police that Grimaldi was in possession of a 9mm handgun and AR-15 semi-automatic rifle for about a month, but the guns belonged to someone else. Grimaldi is in custody on a $300,000 bond. Caught on camera, an Indiana bus driver is facing charges after video catches her teaching students how to drive the bus. Police say 27-year-old Joe Andrea McAtee allowed 3 students to take turns behind the wheel. The students were 11, 13, and 17 years old. Officials say there were other children on the bus at the time. McAtee was arrested and charged with felony neglect. She was also fired from her job as a bus driver. A developing story. A federal investigation is underway this morning after a supermarket claims to have found needles in strawberries in Australia. The brand of strawberries has since been removed from the store in the Australia supermarket. The strawberries were from New Zealand. Officials believe that this is not a widespread situation. Looking ahead to tomorrow, it's National Voter Registration Day, and Sarasota County wants to make sure you are ready for the general elections. The Sarasota County Supervisor of Elections Office has scheduled a number of voter drives in the county. General elections will be held on November 6th. To find out where you can register to vote tomorrow, visit our website at mysuncoast.com. Happening tonight, a single lane closure will take place in Sarasota County from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. Intermittent single lane closures will occur on Pine Street between State Road 776 to the Sarasota County line starting tonight through October 5th. The contractor will be resurfacing the road. Traffic signs and flaggers will be on site as needed to direct traffic. Travelers may experience a detour, slow-moving traffic, and/or temporary delays within the project limits. The Public Works Department reminds all drivers to stay alert, especially when around construction workers. Finally, some good news for the Big Island. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park is back open. The Kilauea eruption in May resulted in explosions and rockfalls, making it unsafe for employees and visitors. The popular tourist spot was closed for 134 days, the longest closure in its history. Officials say the park is open 24 hours. However, part of it is still off limits because of safety concerns. And take a look at this. Tiger Woods won the 2018 Tour Championship for his first victory in more than 5 years. Woods competed at the East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta, Georgia. He started with a 3-shot lead and finished out 2 shots ahead. Woods' last win was in August of 2013. 4 back surgeries since spring of 2014 limited him to 12 tour starts from 2015 to 2017. Add PayPal to the list of companies cutting ties with conspiracy theorist Alex Jones and his website, InfoWars. In a statement, PayPal says InfoWars and its sister sites regularly promote hate and intolerance against certain communities and religions. The online payment service says that behavior runs counter to PayPal's core value of inclusion. Jones and InfoWars have long been criticized for spreading conspiracy theories and misinformation online. And take a look at this. Porsche announced that it's getting rid of diesel cars. The company says it will now focus on hybrid and electric technology. The company also mentioned in a news release that there is a shrinking diesel market. Diesel has never been a major part of Porsche's portfolio. In 2017, it made up just 12% of its global sales. Still ahead happening today, a judge is expected to schedule a new trial date for a Florida man accused of dropping his daughter from a Tampa Bay bridge. ABC 7's Marla Spence will go on in depth about what we know about the investigation so far. And let's take a live look from our tower cam this morning. Right now it is 5:39. Things still remaining quiet throughout the city of Sarasota. Now let's head on over to John.
Yeah, I think as we head into the evening, though, we'll probably see a few scattered showers around, but for most of the day, should be okay. So the school bus forecast is a good one. 78 degrees for the pickup under mostly clear skies. There'll be a little bit of high, thin cloud, but nothing that'll produce rain. 91 on the return trip home. A warm afternoon in store for you. A few clouds around and maybe a 30% chance of an earlier afternoon shower. A 10 out of 10 chance, though, of an outside recess today. Complete forecast in a minute.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So it feels kind of humid and sticky outside because temperature 76 and dew point 76 are the same. We have 100% relative humidity outside. East wind continues to blow at about 8. That east wind will be with us all day long, and it'll take showers from the other coast and kind of sling them back in this direction. A little bit of cloud cover outside because of a little residual leftover debris cloud from showers earlier in the morning that occurred out in Gulf waters. By 7 a.m., we'll look at mostly sunny skies. I think as dawn breaks on the Suncoast, we'll be looking by 12 noon at a few fair weather clouds beginning to move in interior sections. 40% chance of showers as we head into 3 p.m. and then some of those showers gradually drifting from inland locations closer to the coast as we head into 7 p.m. this evening. Not a huge rain chance, but again, it's about a 40% chance. So some of us will see some rain showers. Most of us will not. As we head into the end of the work week, I think even fewer of us will see the rains as we start to dry out just a little bit. Scattered showers already in progress over on the East Coast. Another signal of that easterly wind flow that'll be with us for the rest of the week, it looks like. And with that easterly wind comes warm temperatures. Not much in the way of any kind of rain showers during the morning hours each and every morning this week. With the east wind, it doesn't really favor morning showers over land. We get some showers over the coastline perhaps, and maybe a residual pop or two of lightning during these early hours. But basically, we're looking at pretty quiet conditions for morning commutes. High pressure noses in from the Atlantic, extending all the way across the peninsula today. That brings us that easterly wind flow and ensures kind of a later start to the showers. Plus, we have a little bit of drier air that's filtered in, so that should delay the onset of rain showers till later in the evening as well. Light wind turns west, inland storms move to the Gulf, and it is warm all week long. So if you take a look across the Atlantic, it's been very busy this weekend. We've got Kirk building, we've got Leslie building, we've got disturbance number 1 that doesn't show much signs of development, but it's pretty close to the United States. If it did develop into a named storm, it would be called Michael, but it likely will not. It only has a limited window of time as it moves off to the north and to the west to develop, and then it's going to encounter some unfavorable winds thereafter that steer it back out toward the Atlantic waters, but it could get close enough to the shore of the Carolinas to produce perhaps another inch or two of rain. So we'll watch and see how that happens. And then we have Kirk, still a tropical depression, forecast to continue moving toward the west, perhaps gaining in some intensity before it moves into the Caribbean, where it will likely begin to fall apart as we head into the weekend. But we'll have to watch it. It's still below latitude of Florida, and so it bears watching. But even if it did develop and move, I think it would head further to the west and just underneath the state of Florida. Southeast wind comes in west at about 10 knots. We'll look for 2-foot seas and a light chop. And the official Suncoast forecast calls for a daytime high of about 92 today, 90 tomorrow. In fact, all week long we'll be looking at 90s. As we head into the weekend, perhaps slightly drier air will reduce rain chances just a little bit. Back to you.
John, thank you. Taking a look at first alert traffic in Manatee County. All clear there right now. Nothing really to report at this hour. Further south in the northern part of Sarasota County is all green on the map as well. And further south in Sarasota County, all clear at this hour and nothing to report. No crashes right now. And you're taking a live look at the Ringling Bridge, all quiet right now near downtown Sarasota. Oh, look, there's a car heading toward Lido Key, and it looks like we are going to have a exciting day, happy Monday, and warm week, according to John. Now we have an update to a big story here 3 years ago when a Pinellas County father allegedly threw his 5-year-old daughter off a bridge near the Sunshine Skyway. Deputies then arrested John Johnchuk as he drove into Manatee County. Our Marla Spence has an update on the case this morning. Marla.
Hey, Erica, this morning prosecutors and public defenders are meeting today to pick a new trial date for John Johnchuk. The 28-year-old was arrested in Manatee County after allegedly dropping his 5-year-old daughter to her death from a bridge near the Sunshine Skyway Bridge in 2015. Now today, jury selection was scheduled to begin, but during a pre-trial hearing last week, the decision was made to postpone the start of the trial. Johnchuk's defense team filed a last-minute motion asking the judge to exclude the testimony of one of the state's expert witnesses. An expert witness and doctor for the state believes he was sane at the time of the incident. The defense called for another doctor to rebut that testimony, but prosecutors said they didn't have enough time to prepare for that new doctor last week, resulting in the trial setback. Now, although the defense plans to argue that Johnchuk was not guilty by reason of insanity, it is documented that he's been receiving treatment at a state mental hospital since being arrested. The night of the arrest, Johnchuk was speeding at roughly 100 miles per hour, approaching the Dick Meisner Bridge when an off-duty officer pulled over the car, and it was then that the officer witnessed Johnchuk throw his 5-year-old daughter Phoebe into the water.
The officer went directly to the bridge to see if he could locate the child in the water. The officer called out what he had just seen. He went off the side of the bridge, down a ladder to get to the water to see if he could locate the child.
then got into his car and drove 30 minutes south into Manatee County on I-75 to the University Parkway exit when he was arrested. Now, if convicted, John Chuck could face life in prison for a crime that is often sought for the death penalty. Today's hearing will discuss when a new trial would be set. Erica?
Marla, thank you. Papa John's is considering dropping the apostrophe in its name. The company filed a trademark with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office in late August. It's for a sleek, boxy new logo that removes the apostrophe from Papa John's. A company representative said there are no immediate plans to start using that new logo. In today's Health Smart, breastfeeding is apparently the best feeding for babies. Benefits include lower obesity, slower weight gain, and lower BMI scores. The findings are based on a study that examined more than 2,500 infants. The World Health Organization calls for breastfeeding exclusively for at least 6 months if possible. But mothers who have trouble producing a lot of milk do not need to fret about using formula. Researchers say any amount of breast milk is good, but the more, the better. Plenty of movie news today, from the art of war to the art of inclusion. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Brace for more creative gunfights. A third Kingsman movie is headed our way. Matthew Vaughn, who wrote and directed Kingsman: The Secret Service and Kingsman: The Golden Circle, is set to return for the threequel. Each movie made more than $400 million worldwide. You will have to wait a bit. Kingsman 3 is due in November 2019. There's no stopping The Nun overseas. The horror flick led the international box office for a third straight weekend. It's made $293 million worldwide, $192 million of that internationally, and it's the highest-grossing film of the Conjuring franchise in 32 territories.
If you want your film to look realistic, perhaps you should put someone with a disability in it.
If society got its ideas about people with disabilities from film and TV, they would think that we're either pathetic or super people.
A parade of A-list stars appears in Cinemability: The Art of Inclusion, a new documentary by Jenny Gold, the first wheelchair-using woman in the Directors Guild. The doc looks at how disability has been portrayed on screen and the effect of those portrayals on inclusion. Cinemability hits VOD on October 5th as National Disability Employment Awareness Month begins. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Let's take a live look at our tower cam this morning. Right now you are overlooking downtown Sarasota. It's a beautiful Monday, a 40% chance of rain according to meteorologist John Scalzi, and we will be right back with more news and your first alert forecast.
The day you lose your strength is the day you lose your independence. Muscle is lost with age, affecting your energy, balance, and mobility. Before you know it, you're depending on others just to get through the day. But you can reverse and prevent muscle loss. Introducing MyoHealth, a revolutionary proven approach to increased muscle strength and function in as little as 30 days. Live life on your terms with more energy and confidence.
After a serious health issue put me down, MyoHealth's getting me back up again.
I'm doing activities that I haven't done for a long time. It really works.
MyoHealth is a safe, natural dietary supplement, the result of decades of research and 24 human clinical studies. You can live stronger at any age with greater strength, mobility, balance, and energy. Call or go online now and take the MyoHealth 30-Day Strength Challenge.
This fall, experience golf at a higher level, where the courses are exceptionally beautiful and incredibly challenging on Alabama's Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. Enjoy unlimited golf, including cart and range balls from $112 a day. Beautiful, deadly, irresistible. Is your game ready for the trail? Call 800-949-4444 or visit rtjgolf.com for tee times and get your game on the trail.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Here are some of the top stories we're following for you on the Suncoast today. Happening today, a judge is expected to schedule a new trial date for a Pinellas County man accused of dropping his daughter from a Tampa Bay bridge. John Johnchuk is accused of killing his 5-year-old daughter near the Sunshine Skyway back in 2015. Plus, Bill Cosby will be back in court this morning for the sentencing of his sexual assault conviction. Cosby was found guilty of sexually assaulting Andrea Constand in his home near Philadelphia in 2004. And Tiger Woods won the 2018 Tour Championship for his first victory in more than 5 years. Let's check in with John.
So on the board this morning, the three things to take away are that we'll have warm and humid days with an easterly wind flow. With that easterly wind flow, it means dry mornings, but late afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Rain chance today at about 40%. And it's active in the tropics, though nothing threatens the state of Florida. Back to you.
John, thank you. It is 5:55. We will be right back with another full hour of news starting at 6 a.m. We'll see you then. Stay tuned.